80 meter gold, 200 meter hurdles gold. That 80 meter was also hurdles, and 100 meter silver. So congratulations to Gabby Patterson.
Excellent job, Gabby. So now we're going to move on to the U16 males. And the finalists are Jet Hasiak with Kaltaf, Brady Keller with Leduc, Mason Fedima with St. Albert Mustangs, and the winner is Jet Hasiak. Jet ended the 2021 season ranked first in the province in the 800, running 2:05.14. Great work.
Congratulations to all those nominees. We'll move on now to the U18 females. Our finalists are Chloe Turner from Kaltaf, Sorsha Shu of the Calgary Warriors, and Amy Kanderwick of Kaltaf, all with excellent performances this year, as I recall. And the winner is Chloe Turner. Chloe had an outstanding year in her first outdoor track and field season. She ended the season ranked #1 in Canada in the mile and #2 in both the 1,500 meter and the 3,000 meter.
Congratulations, Chloe. Well done. We'll now move on to the U18 male finalists. The finalists are Jake McEachern, Split City Sonics, Daniel Kidd, Running Room Athletics Club, Matt Swanson, Leduc, Takoa Cornelson, Edmonton International, and Keon Rude, Calgary International. And the winner is Jake McEachern of Split City Sonics. Jake is ranked #2 in Canada in U18 in hammer and ended up the year ranked #1 in U18 in Alberta in hammer, discus, and shot put. Well done.
We'll move on to the U20 females. And in the female U20 category, we have Ella Clayton from Kaltaf, Sienna McDonald of the Calgary Warriors, Janae Shomachuk from Kaltaf, and Hannah Heiss of Capital City. And the winner for the U20 females is Ella Clayton. Ella was named to Team Canada and participated in the World Juniors in Kenya. While she was there, she ran heats and semifinals and earned her spot in the final of the 400 meters at that meet. And she ended up placing 6th at that World Championships and ended with another personal best. So congratulations to Ella. And I believe she's now in the States at Oregon, running for the Ducks there in Eugene.
Awesome. And now we'll move on to the U20 males. The finalists are Ryan Haggerty, is currently unattached, Sean Reimer, Split City Sonics, Ryan Wright from the Calgary Warriors, and Tom Drysdale from Kaltaf. And the winner is Ryan Haggerty. Ryan has the top time in Canada in the 400 meter hurdles in 2021 and the fastest time in this event in Alberta in over 35 years. So well done, Ryan.
And we move on now to our senior females. And our finalists are, oh, there's a picture of Ryan. Sorry, we're just going a little too fast here. Our finalists are Rachel Andres from Kaltaf, Christy Mormon from the Green and Gold Track Club, Maria Bernard Galea of University of Calgary Athletics Club, and Sage Watson unattached. And our winner, even though you got a preview, is Sage Watson. Sage it was 5th in the Olympic semifinal in the 400 hurdles, and she was part of the women's 4x400 meter team at those Tokyo Olympics that finished a heartbreaking 4th with a really good performance. Sage is, of course, Canada's best ever 400 meter hurdler. And I was just looking today, she has 16 of the top 20 all-time performances in the event by a Canadian. So a dominant person, and we're proud to have her represent Alberta to the world. So congratulations to Sage.
Awesome. So now we'll move on to the senior males. And the finalists are Marco Arop, Running Room Athletic Club, Ryan Smeaton, currently unattached, Nathan Philippek, Edmonton International Track Club, and Austin Cole, Capital City. And the winner is Marco. Congratulations. So Marco began his 2021 campaign running at 2:17:10 indoor 1,000 and a 3:57:50 indoor mile, and ended his season making the Olympic 800 meter semifinals. Along the way, he improved his 800 meter PB to 1:43:26 at the Monaco Diamond League, where he finished 3rd overall, which isn't too shabby for a kid from Edmonton.
Okay, so we go from the top, our senior athletes, back down to the grassroots, and we're going to talk about the U10 athletes now, and we'll have a top 10 for each of these categories: U10, U12, and U14. So our top 10 U10 male athletes of the year are Nicholas Emberley, Riker Stewart, Joshua McLean, Isaiah Hebert, Uwe Erhihemi, Fraser McLean, Cameron Hendrick, Holden Locke, Hudson Laidlaw, Ilyas Hoffman. Those are our top 10 U10 males for 2021. And before I go into the top 10 of the females, I just want to say one thing. If you see me at the track and I'm holding the microphone and I've said your name wrong, I want you to come to me and tell me how to pronounce it. I know it's important for you athletes and for your parents to be able to hear your name when you're competing, and I want to be able to say it right. So if you don't be afraid to come to me and say, you've been doing it wrong, please say it like this. So let's move on to the U10 females. Hannah Mix, Ellie Toth, Vera Swanson, Taylor Kribbe, Hattie Mitchell, Avery Dillabaugh, Emily Panic, Marlee Drebert, Charlotte Pono, Savannah Larocque.
Way to go. Great work, everybody. So we're now going to move on to the U12 category. We'd first like to congratulate our top 10 U12 boys. Bennett Stearns, Logan Avey, Elijah Drebert, Reed Mitchell, Max Ellis Vargas Leonard, Noah Katniag, Fraser Warren, Braden Cellini, Nate Locke, and Nolan Venholm. Awesome work, you guys. And now on to our top 10 U12 ladies. Congratulations go to Maya Emberley, Taryn Layton, Mael Drebert, Isla Mitchell, Sydney Shaver, Katie Kavanaugh, Audrey Ferguson, Avery Cooper, Isabella Cellini, and Charlotte Smithenuk.
Well done to our U12s. We're now on to U14 and the U14 males. And they are Ephraim Fisher, Micah Brown, Aiden Shaw, Joel Thorpe, Odin Ward, Ty Secker, Calder Murray, Jira Quach, Sam Newens, and Cohen Mushut. Good job, gentlemen. And now on to our U14 females. Congratulations go out to these top 10 athletes. Maya Asplund, Abiola Omayayi, Ava Sonnenberg, Mary McLean, Kamsi Bogeen, Sadie Snyder, Elena Teta Wayo, Bromley Costin, Devin Parrott, and Julia Hooper. Well done. So we'll take a break from the awards right now and have our keynote speaker present for us. So we're going to go to Carmen James, and Carmen will give you the introduction for our speaker.
There we go, found the unmute button. Well, hello, everyone. It is my great pleasure to introduce to you tonight my dear friend, Derek Evely. Derek and I first met when we were both teenagers and members of the Zone 4 track and field team competing at the BC Summer Games way back when in 1980. Fast forward a few years, and I have watched Derek leap into the world of coaching, where he has excelled locally, nationally, and internationally. That is from Kamloops to Edmonton and way beyond. Now, what makes Derek's coaching path so unique and outstanding is that he has coached along the entire continuum of athlete development, and he has coached athletes in all event groups. Currently, Derek coaches and consults with federations and individuals worldwide, and he is considered a foremost expert in both youth development and elite training methodology. And here he is with us tonight to share some of his energy and expertise. So put down your gadgets, fasten your seatbelts, and join me in welcoming Derek to our Athletics Awards banquet. Derek, over to you.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for that great introduction, Carmen. I appreciate it. Okay, so I'm going to go through a presentation here on basically the 5 abilities and how they impact youth development training. This is taken, it's put together from a few different presentations and things I have on my site, which is eviltracksport.com. And so I'm going to be going from a script. So if you, I don't know if you'll be able to see me when I'm doing this, but if I'm looking over here, it's not, it's just because I'm reading my script as I go through, because there's a lot of animation in this. And so, and I need to click the buttons and I have it all figured out. So, okay. All right. So I need to be a host. Can I share my screen? Yes. Okay.
You are co-host, Derek, so you should be able to Take
Awesome.
it away.
Okie doke. Okay, everybody can hear me?
Looks great.
Okay, we'll get going. So, okay, so this is going to be on long-term. There we go. Sorry. Long-term progressions and high performance training. All right. Oh, hang on a sec here. Every sport in the world is made up of what sports scientists and coaches call biomotor abilities, or as we're going to call them here, abilities. These are the 5 fundamental components of physical performance that make up sport activity, or any physical activity for that matter. They are skill, speed, strength, endurance, and flexibility. In this presentation, we're going to take a look at how proper management of these abilities, in particular speed, strength, and endurance, impact an athlete's development in the critical youth development phase leading into high performance. Now, exactly how speed, strength, and endurance each contribute to sport performance relative to one another is a complicated issue that can rarely be agreed upon in a sport like track and field, even in a sport like track and field that is arguably pure, quote unquote, in its performance expression. Discussing motor abilities is a difficult task because they don't exist as separate entities in sport performance. They're always working together. However, outside of extreme strength and endurance sports or events, speed tends to be the most explicit ability in terms of performance. Okay, sorry, I'm having there we go. Okay, good. Even the longest endurance events are about who gets to the finish fastest. And even the most strength-oriented sports tend to value power, which is force over time, rather than absolute strength on its own. Skill is the other ability whose importance is almost universal across the sporting world, practically as critical as speed, and in some sports just as much, if not more so. This is because the better the skill, the more accurately speed, strength, and endurance can be expressed. And it just so happens that these two are also the least trainable, especially speed. Skill is more trainable than speed, but still far less trainable than the other abilities, in particular, endurance and strength, which are both highly trainable and easy to develop, often a little too easy to develop. Now, let's throw flexibility back into the mix. And here's something to remember. The less trainable an ability is, the more sensitive to loading it can be. That is, it is affected negatively from overwork. This, once again, is especially true for speed because it will not bounce back as easy should the athlete's fitness or performance get suppressed by overwork from excessive strength or endurance training. Therefore, speed and skill, along with to some degree flexibility, should be seen as the canaries in the athletic coal mine by which strength and endurance loading are measured against. When one or more of these three go south or south for too long, then something is amiss, typically because strength and or endurance loads are too high or too specialized. But strength and endurance are important abilities as well, critical in fact, but are highly, highly trainable and therefore lend themselves to abuse. They just need to be implemented with the goal of preparing a young athlete for future intensive loads rather than being so intensive themselves. All of this is important for those looking for adequate programming for their young athlete because they need to be aware of the lure of the classic heavy strength or endurance program because it can distract from the importance of skill and speed development when the athlete is still developing. So how should all of this be managed? How do we actually get them there? Well, we know now that formal training can start in the early to mid-teens with a fundamental preparatory in nature, speed, strength, and endurance program. And that the more directed specialized work shouldn't start until later. The problem is these basic forms of work are not enough in and of themselves to prepare an athlete for what comes later. Susie cannot simply wake up one morning in her 20s and suddenly begin super intensive loading. Her body needs to be prepared for it. So there is a gap to bridge, and that gap is from the start of formal training in the early to mid-teens up to the entry into high performance, approximately late teens to early adulthood. So how do we bridge this gap? Or how do we build this bridge with progressions? A progression is a graduated plan that introduces intensive loading step by step over a long period. In our case, an athlete's adolescent years. Progressions are important for two reasons. First, they prepare the body for the loads that will come later, should they get into high performance sport. And second, they are a tool that optimizes the timing of an athlete's natural rate of development with the introduction of specialized forms of training. Now, very much related to this second point is the idea of the high performance window. If we look at our timeline, you will see it is loosely categorized into zones: childhood, developmental, high performance, and elite. While in many sports circles, the terms high performance and elite tend to be synonymous, I like to distinguish between the two. To me, high performance is a performance level that typically requires a full-time commitment. The term elite refers to something more distinguished. It represents the best of the best. In my sport, anyone that competes at an Olympic Games would be considered high performers. Or sorry, in our sport, anyone that competes in an Olympic Games would be considered high performers, but only those who excel there would be considered elite. These are athletes that have probably fewer than 20 to 30 people in the world that they can regularly compete with, or 20 to 30 people in the world that can regularly compete with them. It's the difference between being a warrior and being, well, something even better than that. What's important isn't how it's defined, but rather what it takes to get there. And although I have it here on a timeline, it really has little to do with time and has everything to do with performance. An athlete can be 18 years old and elite, although we don't see it that often. The point is this: in the most competitive sports in the world, of which our sport, athletics, is one, few get to an elite level without a commitment to long-term focused and demanding training, and that takes preparation. And preparation takes time. It's generally understood and accepted that once an athlete has made the transition from development to high performance training, that is, we have started to exploit all of the specialized types of training available, it'll take them on average 8 to 12 years of this type of work to reach their peak. This is hugely individual and sport specific, but it's about 10 years, give or take. Now, why should you care about this? Well, in a nutshell, this, as a coach of young and developing athletes, is your biggest concern, at least in the physical realm. And that's because if one is to maximize their athletic potential, then this window, an extended period of specialized training, needs to complement with everything we've just discussed. It needs to be timed properly based upon our calculation of when to start or accelerate this kind of training. It needs to agree with the natural maturation rates of the athlete, and it needs to allow time for progressions. So the start of this window is the start of ramped up specialized training and will end, if all goes to plan, with the athlete realizing their potential. And as a coach, you have the biggest influence on how this plays out. So what does this look like in the big scheme of things? Well, if we start it properly, then this window will span for most events, basically across the athlete's 20s, beginning in the late teens or even later, and approaching or entering the early 30s by its end. This gives the athlete plenty of preparation time for the long-term progressions that will prepare them for the work to be performed in this window. It also allows the natural maturation rates to mature prior to the intensification that comes with the specialized loads. We want the improvement of the specialized abilities, which were slowly and progressively developed by smart progressions and then fully introduced and ramped up in high performance training, to piggyback off the natural rates rather than compete against them. This is when everything comes together as it should, like the booster rocket sending the space shuttle into space. You got to love that graphic. I worked really hard on that. Just got to say. The earlier we allow this window to begin, the more trouble we are asking for, because it leaves us less time for the proper progressions. The intensive loads begin to interfere with the natural rates of development, and the career peak comes earlier as the high performance window not only begins sooner, but shortens also as the athlete has less capacity to tolerate the loading. And performance is ultimately lower than it would be if we were more patient. In short, the athlete is burned out. In the worst scenarios, the athlete gets injured and leaves the sport far too early. And that would be a shame. All right. That might have been a little short, which would be a record for me. I'm not sure. But there it is.
Thanks, Derek. I think that's great. I think that was a message that, as a parent myself, I need to hear from my developing young athletes. And I think it's an important message for both parents and coaches. So that was excellent information. All right, I'm going to take the co-host away from you and flip it over to Beth, and then she's going to take us home here.
Thanks, Derek. Oh, wow. Look at those comments coming in. That's great. Okay, am I the host now, James?
You are indeed the host.
Let's see how we go here.
Back to Stuart and Paula.
Yep.
So thank you, Derek, for that presentation. I think for athletes that watch that, and it was when your coach says, I want you to try this event as well. Like if you think you're a distance runner, but he wants you to try throws, or he wants you to try, he or she wants you to try jumps. That's what he's talking about when we're saying, don't do that specific stuff too early. Try all the events and build that base up. So that, and you can specify, you can become a specialist later in your career. So that's what this message is today for the coaches and for the parents and for you athletes to remember. It's good to try all of the events. You might be better at one than the other, but trying all the events will make you a better athlete in the long run. So I hope that some of the younger athletes can take that message to heart and keep trying everything that you can. That's what's great about athletics, track and field, is we have a variety of things that you can try. So that information that Derek has, it's in the chat. I think we'll also be able to put that out on some of the social media over the next couple of days, so that if you want to get more information, we can do that. Okay, we're on to Para Athlete Awards. Is that correct, Beth? That's what I have in my script. And we are awarding one female Para Athlete of the Year award. And that goes to a woman who has set 2 new personal bests during the 2021 season, setting new marks for herself in the discus at 23.47 meters and in the shot put at 6.98. And that discus performance placed Sarah Mickey 6th at the Tokyo Paralympic Games. So congratulations to Sarah. I saw that she was on tonight I don't know, Sarah, if you can turn your camera on and wave at everybody, or if that's possible. There she is. She's waving. Congratulations, Sarah. Thanks for being here. We're going to move on now to our Masters categories. Masters are athletes that are aged 35 and over, and we've seen some as old as 89 compete in right here in Edmonton. I don't know if Arnold's here with us tonight. Did you see him, Beth? No? Okay. We'll start with the female Masters overall athlete of the year, and someone who literally walks circles around her competition. Congratulations to Johanna Flipson. Johanna's here and she's waving. I see her. Johanna set the women's 65 Canadian race walk record for the 1500 meter and the 3000 in 2021. She holds multiple Canadian race walk records from 55, 60, and 65 age categories. And I saw her out walking again at our latest indoor meet. I understand she went through a bit of an injury, but is on her way back and looking forward to more competition this summer. Right, Johanna? All right.
Excellent. So we are now going to move on to the Male Masters Athlete of the Year for 2021. And the winner is Henry Sherwa. Henry set the male 70 Canadian race walk records for the 1500 meters and 3000 meters race walk in 2021. And he also holds several other Canadian race walk records in the M60 category. So excellent work, Henry.
So we're going to move on for our Masters to cross country and road running Masters winners. And our female winner for cross country and road running Masters Athlete of the Year is Maria Zambrano. Maria ran an excellent time of 1 hour, 18 minutes and 16 seconds at the Victoria Half Marathon in October. And she was the second overall female finisher, easily winning her women's 50 age category. She also set the Canadian W50 record for the 3000 meter on the track in 2021, running 10 minutes, 16 seconds, a very good 3000 meter track time. So that's quite a range to be competitive at the 3000 and the half marathon. Congratulations to Maria.
Excellent. And so now we are going to move on to our male Masters cross country athlete. And we'd like to say congratulations to Brian Torrance. Brian was the top Alberta Masters runner at the Canadian Masters Cross Country Championships in Ottawa in November, finishing 4th overall and 1st in his M45 age category. His age-graded score of 77.14% was the best score by an Alberta Masters athlete.
Okay, I didn't know whether we'd get through all of this event without missing something. We have one winner in the road racing category for our males. So we're on to road racing, and this is senior male. And our winner is Trevor Hofbauer. And Trevor represented Canada at the Olympics in 2021. I don't think the marathon went the way he wanted it to there, but he certainly was had an excellent season, and we congratulate him. I'm sorry I don't have more stats. That's where I should have added more in here. So congratulations, Trevor, someone we can follow and keep up with. So everybody go home and look up Trevor's stats because I didn't have them here.
Awesome, great work, Trevor. And so now we are going to move on to our cross-country awards. We are going to start with our U10 top 10, and we'll start with our top 10 U10 female winners. And the winners are Aspen Boar,
Max, the winners.
Isa Kafka, Marley Drebert, Anna Diener, Alex Glemser,
Max.
Ella Forma, Brianna Hiller, Nora Smith, Hattie Mitchell, and Lillian Ventura. Great work, everyone. We'll now move on to our top 10 U10 cross-country male athletes. And they are Declan Sutherland, Aiden Assen, Andrew McMorris, Asher Bauman, Fabian Vatman, Matthew Jarman, Dominic Stubis, Weston Nixdorf, Felix Nanishka, and Evan Sharp. Way to go, everyone.
Now on to our U12 in cross country. And our top 10 females are Maëlle Drebert, Claire Keller, Katie Kavanaugh, Gabriella Seiler, Hannah Gregory, Noelle Poles, Isla Mitchell, Imogen Stevenson, Avery Cooper, and Molly Gallivan. I find it hard to believe that some of those girls are U12 because I feel like I've been saying some of their names at track meets for like 5 or 6 years, but I guess they're still U12. The U12 males, Elijah Drebert, Gabriel Chaffee, Taylor Rumsby, Andrew Weiss, Josiah Eddy, Benjamin Boychuk, Charlie Galbraith, Jasper Smith, Fraser Warren, and Lachlan McPhee.
Well done. So now we're going to move on to our U14 girls cross country. And the winners are Bromley Costin, Mary McLean, Carissa D'Souza, Caitlin Sherwin, Abiola Omayayi, Ava Sonnenberg, Devin Parrott, Ariana Williams, Sarah Michaud, and Ariana Nee. Congratulations and well done, Leduc Track and Field. We'll now move on to our U14s in cross country. Your top 10 U14s are Ephraim Fisher, Calder Murray, Evan Kingsmith, Samuel Skilnick, Rylan Chipiuk, Harris Thomas Sutton, Blake Drebert, Peter Zwegers, Ty Secker, and Odin Jorday. Well done.
And well done to you, Paula. If you ever want to not coach or officiate or compete, you can join me on the mic announcing at some of these events. We're going to move on to the U16 females, and we're from this category up, we're just awarding one winner. So this year, our U16 cross country female award goes to a young lady who ran very well, Kate Haas from Caltaf. Kate is a newcomer to our sport. She comes with a love for the sport already, as both her parents were runners. She joined Caltaf after her school season and has not missed a workout since, says her coach. She is continuously improving and displayed that work ethic at cross country provincials, where she won the U16 race. There's definitely more to come from this young lady, and we can look forward to more great results from her in the future. Congratulations, Kate. And now for our U16 male winner, the award goes to Brady Keller from Leduc Track and Field. Brady is from Lacombe and competes for Leduc in the mid-distance and cross-country events. He won the U16 cross-country provincials, attended nationals, and was ranked a #1 in the 1200 and 2000 this past outdoor season. Congratulations, Brady.
Excellent. So now we're going to move on to our U18 cross-country male winner. The U18 Male Cross Country Award goes to Caden Kingsmith from Calgary Spartans. Congratulations, Caden. Caden was first introduced to track by his hockey coach, Dion Flynn, who happened to be the coach of the Calgary Spartans middle distance group. Without having Dion as his hockey coach that year, it is very unlikely that Caden would have discovered his potential in middle distance running and cross country running. Dion remains Caden's track coach to this day. The next award is the U18 Female Cross Country Award, and we actually have a tie in this category. So the first young lady to receive this award is Charlotte Sinke. Charlotte competed at the Cross Country Nationals in Ottawa, where she placed 8th in her age group. Excellent work, Charlotte. And the second co-winner in this group is Chloe Turner. This past cross-country season, Chloe was undefeated during the high school season and capped off the year as the high school city champion, high school provincial champion, and at nationals placed 6th. Way to go, Chloe. Good job, ladies.
So good job to our U18s. And I just have to say, Caden taking that really cool. I saw just a cool fist bump there. Just, yeah, totally expecting that. Yeah, cool. Way to go, buddy. We're going to move on to the U20s. And the U20 female cross-country winner is Sadie Sigstead from the Edmonton Harriers. Sadie had an awesome year. She went away to university in the States and ran at Villanova, and then came back to Canada to run the U20 championships over 6 kilometers and was the Canadian national champion at cross country. She finished in a 6 kilometer race. She finished over 1 minute ahead of the entire field at the cross country championships this year. So congratulations to Sadie, our U20 cross country female winner. On the male side, our winner is from the University of Calgary Athletics Club, and that's Tawfiq Saeed. He was Alberta's top runner at nationals over 8 kilometers, and he was less than 1.5 minutes out of the top 10. So good job for Tawfiq, our cross-country winner for the U20 males this year.
Great job, Tawfiq. We're now going to move on to the senior cross-country female winner. And the award goes to Maria Bernard Galea at the University of Calgary Athletics Club. She won a silver medal at nationals over 10K and was over 1 minute ahead of 3rd place. So great job, Maria. The next award is the Senior Cross Country Male Award. And the award goes to Alex James. Stuart, do you want to fill in any information there for Alex?
All I had was that Alex was our provincial champion. He did not compete at nationals, but the way our awards are set up, if you're the provincial champion, that's your best way to win this award at the annual awards. So Alex is our champion for senior men.
Great job, Alex. Okay, so now we're going to change gears just a little bit and move from our athletes to our volunteers. Without our volunteers, well, you can't have the meets, and then the athletes can't compete, and then we wouldn't be here. So here we are now. We're going to congratulate some of our volunteers. So the Volunteer of the Year. Our Volunteer of the Year is a current board member and a member of the Calgary Track and Field Council. Congratulations to Ian Gordon. Everyone knows Ian. He's been a member of the Athletics Boards of Directors now and has been in our sport for over 50 years. He's been an athlete, coach, and now he's an official. We just wanted to thank you for all the work you do. And I don't know if you remember this. I'm not sure if Ian is on here or not, but Ian was my coach at one time. So that goes way back. So thank you very much, Ian. Great work.
And actually, if you go through some of the old provincial records, Ian's name is on a few and on some relays from back in the 1970s when he ran the 400 and represented Canada in the Olympics in 1972. So well done to those winners.
We went to the same high school.
Not at the same time, though, Derek.
Not that far apart.
That would be Burnaby Central. All right.
Yes. Okay, next up are our officials awards. We are so fortunate to have a tremendously committed group of individuals who give their time voluntarily to officiate at our events. Yes, you heard that right. All of our officials are volunteers. And it is a rewarding job, and many of our officials have been volunteering at our meets for not just years, but decades. So tonight we're honoring two officials. Thank you, Gordon Murray and Denise Roche. And I saw them on here. Where are they? Waving. There we go.
Awesome. Our next award is our novice official. And our novice official of the year is Pamela Fisher. Pamela is a relatively new official, but is always ready to pitch in. She is eager to learn, and I'm sure that she is going to be a contributor to our sport for years to come. Thank you for all you do, Pamela. Much appreciated.
And now we're moving into the coaching awards. And just a reminder to people, for the performance awards, we have a system that we can rate performances, and whether you have a provincial medal. So picking the athletes is easy, picking the coaches is harder. And we rely on you volunteering and nominating coaches for these awards. So if you feel like your coach has done a great job for you or your athletes, your children, please don't be afraid to step up and to nominate people for the coaching awards. The first one we're going to give is the Grassroots Coaching Award. And this goes out to a couple, a wonderful couple, and they are Jennifer Zawoski-Delazay and Darren Delazay from Leduc Track and Field Club. Darren and Jennifer are passionate and dedicated members of Alberta's track and field community. They consistently go above and beyond to empower their Leduc track athletes to learn, grow, and enjoy the sport. Throughout the pandemic, they tirelessly and creatively sought out opportunities for their athletes to continue training where they could. Leduc track families thank Darren and Jennifer for their positive role modeling as coaches in our sport. Great job, you guys.
Awesome. So now we're going to move on to our high performance coach of the year. And this recipient of this year's high performance coach of the year is a gem to para and able-bodied athletes alike. Congratulations to Kim Cousins. Kim has been a high performance trailblazer in the sport of track and field for over 20-year career with CalTAF. She's been a coach with CalTAF since the early 2000s and has developed athletes from beginner all the way through to Olympic and Paralympic athletes in both Winter Olympics and summer. She has coached on many able-bodied national, international, and Olympic teams, as well as Paralympic teams throughout her career. And in 2021, had 3 athletes competing at the Paralympics in Japan. Kim has not only developed high-performance athletes, but also high-performance people who continue to contribute to the athletics community outside of their events. Congratulations, Kim.
Our final award is called the George Giemer Coach of the Year Award, and goes to a coach who exemplifies all great things in coaching. And we have a dog barking. For those of you who don't know George Giemer, George came from Hungary many years ago, came to Alberta, settled in Lethbridge, and started a track and field program in Lethbridge. And out of George's coaching, a lot of other coaching programs and track programs grew. The throws program in Lethbridge, multiple events in Calgary. George was a great mentor for Les Gramantic, and his coaching excellence really set the tone for Alberta in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. George and his wife, Carol, were great volunteers for the sport, great advocates for the sport. Carol passed away a few years ago, but just this past week, George celebrated his 95th birthday. So I'm really happy to be here presenting this award tonight, or to be able to introduce the presenter of the award. We're giving it to someone who exemplifies this high standard with both a dedication to his athletes and to his community and beyond. This coach is a real role model, a true role model. So tonight we have the ability of one of his athletes to present him the award. Tyson, please go ahead. Our winner is Pete Wright of Go Athletics. Tyson's giving him his award there. Pete, wave to the camera. Bravo, my friend. Pete makes a difference every day, and we really appreciate him. So congratulations to all of the winners this year. But before we go, we do have an announcement from James.
Thanks, Stuart, and thanks, Paula. First off, congrats to all the nominees and the award winners. Now to close the evening, you may have been, if you pay attention to some of the little things I've been doing while Beth's running the show, is if you look in the chat, I have a little leak. There's also been some teasers on all of the slides, but we are announcing our new brand tonight. So it aligns with Athletics Canada's brand. And I'm proud to say that one of our summer students and green and gold athlete, Josh Lee, pulled together a video for us. So we're going to have a look here. Thanks to those guys who did.
No sound.
No sound, Beth.
Athletics Canada, we are proud to play a lead role. Sorry, did you say you couldn't hear that?
That's right.
Oh, hang on. Let's see if you can hear it now.
Let's start it from the beginning.
I am, yeah.
For 53
years, Athletics Alberta has been creating a community of track and field,
road running, and cross-country athletes in our province.
As a branch of Athletics Canada, we are proud to play a lead role in the development of our athletes,
Coaches, clubs, and officials.
We value safe sport, hard work, excellence,
Sport for life, cooperation, fairness,
respect, and inclusion.
I am.
Thanks, Beth. Hopefully that played well for folks, but
we'll have it all over the place tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll post that up. But like I said, some of you may have seen some of the strategically leaked information today. AC sent out a newsletter. We're really excited that we'll have our new product associated with Nike available on the Athletics Canada store. And you can go buy exclusive brand new branded Athletics Alberta gear at the Athletics Canada store, and that will be coming out in your newsletter tomorrow. So that closes out our evening. I'm very happy you could join us virtually to celebrate these achievements tonight with our athletes, coaches, and officials. Special thanks go out to Pollard and Stewart for their MC duties tonight, and I couldn't close out the meeting or the awards night without thanking Beth. This was a result of her work. She's amazing. And great job, Beth. Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy your evening.
Good night. Congratulations, everybody.